Hey guys, down here working on this LS. So hoping to get it in this weekend. But I'm gonna work on getting this motor and tranny bolted up, and I'm gonna pull these motor mounts off and make the gussets for them. So I wasn't gonna put a gusset on there, but I've changed my mind. I don't want to have to take this thing back out because I broke a motor mount. So just gonna do it now while I got it out. Then hopefully get the tranny bolted on, and then I got it made, but I gotta do some modifying on this thing that I made to pull the Jeep in here. So I'm gonna get the motor mounts and get tranny put together, and then work on that. All right, so I got the motor mounts, got the gussets put on, cut out and welded, then put together, and I made this piece for my shifter. So because the stock one was all one piece, and I was wanting to go with a little bit longer shifter, so I got it all bolted. Well, got two bolts holding it together. Got my spark plugs back in and tightened, and wires on. I just gotta bolt this thing up, and then I'll work on the tranny harness and the vehicle speed sensor. Get them knocked out. And yeah, hopefully I gotta work on that thing for the skid loader. Go on the fork to push the Jeep back in, but probably be it. I'll hopefully get this thing. Hopefully I'll get it back, the Jeep back in, pushed in tomorrow. So hopefully then tomorrow night I can put this motor in. We'll see. I think I might run to town and grab something to eat. So alright, so I got a little bit done. I got the tranny harness all tied on. I found these things. Well, they were on the stock harness on that Jeep, and I was wondering if I could get them because they looked handy, really handy. And so yeah, I found them. There are these zip ties with the barb on the end of them. Not wanting to focus, but they're just handy as all hell. This one's still loose, but yeah, they don't look too bad for being zip ties. But I got my sensor holder for my vehicle speed sensor done. I just got to paint it, and I have the hole recessed for a. Why are you not wanting to focus? For a nut zert, so it sits nice and flat in there. I won't put it in now. I'll put it in after I paint. But it sits in there. It goes in there farther. I just can't get it in there with one hand. But it sits in there nice and flush. But this will go. It'll have this sensor right here in it. It's kind of hard doing everything one-handed. So to get this to work, I had to cut this hole because this bracket's crimped around this sensor, so I had to make that hole so it'd pivot through there. It'll be on there like that, and it'll pull back to the transfer case right here. And then I got just a little bit of adjustment in here so I can adjust how close it is, but I got it lined up pretty good. Right in the middle, about right in the middle, about as close as I can get. So I'm gonna paint this and then put it on, and hopefully the motor can go back in. I gotta have all the harness on there because it runs down the tranny, so I'll probably ball it up, and I took the intake back off, so I ain't fighting it going back in, but I'll just ball the wire harness up there on the valley. It's coming. Oh, I gotta cut that cross member out too. That front cross member to give me a little bit more clearance. You can see it's jogged in the middle. So I'm gonna cut that out and then run a piece of straight tubing across there. The only thing, I looked on my mom's Jeep, so I knew where this cross member, how close it was to the radiator, and the only reason that this cross member is back is for clearance for the fan. And I'm going with low pro fans, so I don't need as much clearance as the stock fan does. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out and then put a thicker piece in there, weld it in, and then that can go back in. So we're getting there slowly. Then I just got to do, everything else. But yeah, that's how far I am now. I'm gonna go ahead and paint this thing and put her on and see where we go from there. All right, little update. I got my sensor put on, bolted on, got that last zip tie tightened down. I haven't messed with any of the motor harness yet, but I got the stock cross member cut out, new one's welded in. Yeah, should work. There's the old one. So yeah, I'll beef it up a little bit, make it a little bit more rigid, and then give me a little bit more room, because that, I don't know if it's in the last video or not. I don't know, I can't remember, but where that harmonic balancer was sitting, it was probably 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch between it and the cross member, and that cross member was bent down and back. So putting the straight one in there will give me more room so I can get the serpentine belt on easier. So that brake line's, I gotta rerun that brake line. It got, when I was that piece that was in there, I didn't know that, but it was tapered, so the inside was bigger than the outside. Well, I tried drilling out, I don't remember where I put it, but I tried drilling it out with a hole saw, and the drill got caught in the inside of here and wrapped that brake line up in it. But it was nicked. I nicked it with the grinder over here when I was grinding for the motor mounts, so it was getting replaced anyways. But it's about as far as I got right now. I'm gonna clean this up and paint this, and then bend that brake line back down out of the way for now until I get, because I'm gonna delete the ABS, but I'm gonna keep I gotta keep the module, because Jeep, like, for the reason that I had to put that on there for the LS, so I could run the cruise control. Jeep put the vehicle speed sensors. They're using the speed sensors for the ABS. So it reads the wheel sensors, goes to this, and then goes to the ECU, and then to the dash. So I have to keep the electronic part of this, so I'm going to make a block off plate to just go on here and get rid of this aluminum block and this motor. And then I have an adjustable proportioning valve to put on here too. So it's coming together slowly. Hoping to have this motor in today, hopefully. Yeah, I can have it in today. It's only 4:10, so yeah, go from there. it's in. I gotta snug these back. I got all the front 6 bolts and the center bolt and the block bolts all tightened. I gotta tighten up the back 6, but I might head down, go get something to eat from my parents, so it's getting there. But here's what I was saying. Yeah, I got a lot of room here now. Before it was pretty sure it was about right in there. So just barely enough room to get a belt on. So I figured if this thing moves in and out at all, it was going to hit it. So yeah, we're coming. It's going to get there. One of these days it'll be there. But that's it for now. Alright, so I'm working on this thing. So I got the exhaust from the motor to behind the cross member done. I just got it dumped because I'm wanting to get this thing started. I'm just unsure. I'm unsure about the lineup pins, so I just want to start this thing before I get all the front clip back together. So if it does have to come back out, it's going to be easy to come out. So I got my exhaust ran and my O2 sensors in, so the computer can read those, because it didn't read it the first time I ran it because I had them just sitting there. I didn't have bungs in the headers yet. But I got that part done, and I started working on this fuse box. So I made a jumper wire for the ignition switch. So the wire that goes to the ignition switch, it'll unplug and that jumper will go in between there, and I'll send power from this fuse box, the motor fuse box, to it, and then it'll send 2 wires back. One will be start run and the other one will be crank. So this relay is going to be my start run relay, and this one will be the start and accessory. So this relay will turn on and it will send power to pin 30 on this relay, turning on, and that power will go straight to the pin on pin 87A. And then when you crank, turn this relay on, it will send the power to 87. So then it'll crank and it'll shut all your accessories off, which is how it should be. But this ignition doesn't have the accessory. It doesn't have an accessory pin because it's got a sensor inside there, and that's how it tells it where the key is for accessory. So that's how that's gonna have to work. So then I can run like my spotlights, and I'll run my radio. They'll be off my accessory circuit, so should work, hopefully. I don't know, we'll see. So then I squirreled on that, and I started working on, I wanted to get the gas tank done before it got cold. I wanted to get it painted, the cradle for the gas tank. I wanted to get it cleaned and painted, and the skid plate cleaned and painted. But got them painted, put in. They're in. I just got to put in the filler tube, and that should be it for the gas tank. Should be. Oh, fuel line. Have to run fuel line up. But that's probably going to be about it for this video. Right now I'm working on the throttle pedal. So I'm going to run the stock Jeep pedal and the LS pedal. They don't have the sensor on it right now, but that way my oil change light will come on and I can reset it. I'll cut this off right about here, and then I can still, I took one of the springs out so it's lighter, that's why this thing's all messed up. So I'll be able to reset my oil filter or oil life thing, oil life light. So that's where I've got. So I'll probably everything else is going to be on the next video. So thanks for watching.